good to see you again. Come on in, have a seat.
Thanks.
I'm glad you agreed to come back in today.
I'm glad you're paying me to come back in.
Well, this is a paid project and you're part of it, so let's get started.
Sure.
Zoe, when we spoke last, you said that was your stage name, right?
It is. Most dancers have stage names, to separate their private and professional lives.
I imagine that could be important in your line of work.
Definitely. I had a fiance who took a bunch of crap from his friends after they found out I was an exotic dancer. Big mistake. And when my daughter gets older, I don't want her friends treating her differently just because I make money in a different way.
I think that's understandable considering how we judge each other in everyday life.
Absolutely. And most people think that stripping is all about prostitution.
Many people do make that association, but in our last conversation, you mentioned some of the dancers, including yourself, who will offer special clients who can afford them certain sexual favors.
Sex happens, but it really depends on the situation. Like if my bank account's running low or how I personally feel about the client.
So you'd say it's on a case-by-case basis then?
Yeah, pretty much. And a dancer knows that if some guy starts flipping 10s and 20s on the stage instead of 1s, he's probably good for even more money in the lap dance room. It's all about the money, and most dancers will do a little more than just dance for it.
So there's big money to be made behind that velvet curtain.
Lots of it. And most men who walk into the club want sex. They throw a few 1s and 5s on the stage and get all worked up. And those 1s and 5s soon turn into 10s, 20s, and even 100s in the back rooms. I've actually made over $2,000 a night teasing up and giving out hand jobs.
So what's the most unbelievable thing that's ever happened to you at the club?
Well, this one regular who never spent more than $20 a night came in with a big roll of bills. So my girlfriend and I put on this really hot show for him in the back room, acting like we both came while dancing with each other, which he definitely fell for since he gave us each a $1,000 tip.
That sounds like a pretty amazing tip from a cheap seats customer.
What's even more amazing is that I've known this guy for a while, giving him the usual sad stories that most dancers tell, like we're working there for custody for kids or tuition or whatever.
So what suddenly changed this guy's spending habits?
Well, he told me that he inherited some money and he wanted to help me get out of the club scene. So what I told him is that I really, really needed a car, to find better work. And guess what? The next day, he meets me at a car dealership and buys me this beautiful white Lexus right then and there in cash.
That's pretty amazing. He actually bought you a Lexus to get you out of the club scene.
Honest to God. There are lots of men who just come in, spend $10,000 a night, and then disappear back into their regular lives. Like there was this one guy, Brandon from Hawaii, who kept tipping me with 20s all night. And he asked me how much I would, charge to do Vegas with him. And so I said $1,000. He was totally for it, so we went bar hopping all night, having a blast. It was so much fun.
So Brandon wasn't a regular there?
No, not at all. But he did end up becoming a personal client of mine. He'd fly me out to Kauai, pay for my tickets, hotel rooms, everything. Plus, pay me for my time, of course.
A personal client? Does that mean you had some sexual understanding with him?
Well, I'm not saying I did or didn't, but he was definitely hooked on me. So like this one time I called him up, telling him that he should see me, and he booked a flight for me the next day. And guess what? His wife was there while I was there in the hospital having her baby. Who does that?
His wife was actually having a baby while you were there in Kauai?
Yeah. But I told him he should fly me out, and he did. Which was a pretty shitty thing for him to do to his wife, but at the same time very flattering for me. It's a powerful feeling, knowing you can get most men to do whatever you want.
I can see that power you refer to actually being more satisfying than money. Is Brandon still a personal client of yours?
I wish. Unfortunately, my ex-fucking fiance hired a private investigator who took videos of us together. Then he actually called Brandon in Hawaii and said that if he was to see me again, he would show those pictures to his wife. And that was that. I lost out on some big money and my free trips to Hawaii.
It all sounds pretty dramatic.
Believe me, it was.
So I take it you're no longer in a relationship with your ex-fiancé then?
No, he just turned out to be another asshole guy trying to control me.
So getting back to club life, will most dancers say or do whatever it takes to get whatever they want from men?
Absolutely. Our job is to entertain anyone who comes to the door. We're there to make money. Nothing more.
ZOEY, when you say nothing more, I can't help but think about an earlier conversation we had that touched upon some painful events in your past.
Hey! I don't like talking about that shit. The past is the past.
I mean, you can't do anything about it, can you?
It is a fact that we can't change the past, but we can learn from it.
I get what you're saying, but I still don't like talking about what happened to me when I was younger, so if we could just kind of move on.
We are moving on, ZOEY, by trying to understand how a past trauma can hang on and keep hurting us over and over again. No one likes talking about painful things, but did you ever consider that having your own father molest you, and then later being gang raped by those boys from your high school can be the real reason that you're working as a stripper?
I told you I work at those clubs for the money. Number 1, I'm good at it. Number 2, it's easy work. And number 3, I have a pretty crappy education, so I guess I could work at some minimum wage job, but that's not going to happen again. Been there, done that.
I understand about money being important, but for someone who's been hurt and sexually abused by men, don't you think it's strange to earn your living using sex to solicit money from men?
No, I don't. Men want sex, and men have money. So why should I get their money using what they want from me? No one's making them walk in here and act like horny fucking assholes, are they?
You're right. Nobody's making them do anything. But besides the money, what is motivating you to dance naked for men? For the same kind of men who've created those painful memories that you don't like talking about. Why would you want to do anything remotely sexual for those men?
What the fuck?
Are you not listening? I'm doing it for the fucking money!
I am listening, ZOEY, but you just mentioned that feeling of power earlier that you have over men, and I'm simply suggesting that there might be another reason that you choose to sexually manipulate men.
You know what?
Fuck you. I understand myself just perfectly fine. This fucking interview is over.
ZOEY, come back.
We're supposed to be talking about my work, not my personal life. You have no right to be screwing around with my head. You can keep your goddamn money too, and if you put any of this shit on TV, I'll sue your ass big time.